But today I want to talk about domains. I'm Dave. I help business leaders to use technology more effectively. Now, it's in the news at the moment that the IO domain name, .io that is, which a lot of techie companies are using, is going to come to an end. It's a British Indian overseas territory that the British government's going to give back to Mauritius. Let's not get into the politics, but the point is that if you're using that domain name, a .io domain name, you need to think about making plans to use something else in the future. Maybe it'll be fine, maybe it's a long time away, but nevertheless, using an odd domain extension means you're much better to get the domain name that you want. It's not being used by someone else, but it does come with its risks. I have a .it domain name, which is fine, but obviously after Brexit, I wasn't sure whether we'd be able to carry on using it, what the plan's going to be. It seems to be okay for now, but I did get an equivalent .co.uk domain name. It's very complicated. There's several different organizations that are responsible for domain names. Basically, each country has got a different organization that's responsible. And then in America, which owns the .com, .net, .org, and many others, they've got several organizations that are responsible for how those domains are organized. We're not going to go into the details, but there's a few things that I see businesses do a lot, which make no sense. So let's just make sure that you've got these clear in your minds, things that you check. So first of all, don't let your domain name expire. It's a real headache. It can be a real problem to get it back. So make sure there's somebody that's responsibility is for making sure the domain gets renewed, and it's not on some director's card and the card expires, the domain doesn't get renewed, and all of a sudden the email stops working, the website's down, no one can do anything. It happens quite a lot. You'd be surprised, even to big companies, up to Google in the past. Make sure that you're on top of a process for managing the renewal. What some businesses do is they renew it for like 10 years. That's just kicking the can down the road, because in 10 years' time, you're going to have the same problem. You can buy domains from all sorts of different providers. Some are the better than others. We use Cloudflare. There's plenty of them out there, 123reg, etc. But the point is that somebody has to be responsible for managing it. And usually that falls on the IT department. But what's important is that there's some kind of monitoring of this stuff. Okay, next we want to look at what actual domain names you use. So a lot of companies have registered lots of names similar to theirs because they're worried about typosquatting. This is completely pointless now because there's so many different domains extensions. I think there's about 2,000 or 6,000. I can't remember now. Like .engineering, .contractor, .consultant. I don't know. There's so many different ones. I'm not sure that was a particularly good idea, but what that means is that you're not going to capture all of those domains. And if you think that's going to help with your security, it isn't, because somebody could always choose a different character set to create a domain that's very similar to the one you've got right now. So if, say, your domain's Microsoft, they could change the I to an L, or they could change an I to a foreign character that looks very much like the I, but it's slightly different. Having lots and lots of domain names, unless you're using them, it's pointless. Stop paying for them. It's a waste of time. Just pay for the ones you're actually using. And I recommend that you have a different domain name for your marketing activities than you do for the rest of the business. What that means is that the marketing department, if they're sending out lots and lots of emails, they're unlikely to make the work emails. That is the people that are doing the work, not the marketing. I know marketing people are doing work. What I mean is that the marketing team can't impact on the rest of the business by breaking the emails, because all the emails end up going to junk. And if your emails are going to junk, or you're getting weird, dodgy emails, then please have a look at our cyber security email management platform, which will try and stop that happening permanently. And I do speak to lots of businesses. I'm going to talk about this later in the week. I'll put a link here to a video I've done on things you can do to stop your emails getting hacked and make sure your emails are not going to junk. Then we've sorted out, make sure the domains get renewed, that we're only paying for the domains that we're using. And then what about domains? How long should they be? What should you pick? Short is good. Hyphens are bad. Generally, that's the way it works. I think people put a lot of thought into their business name and the domain name, and actually just pick something that's similar to your name that people can easily type. That's all you need to do. You don't need to make it complicated. If you are struggling with domain management, like I know MX Records or CNAME or whatever, do feel free to reach out to me. I've done another video on the more technical aspects of how domain names work. I recommend you pay an IT person to manage it for you and make sure it gets renewed. So I hope that makes sense. I hope that was useful, and let me know what you think in the comments. And if you've got any suggestions or ideas about other things you'd like to know about around domain names, just put it in the comments below, and talk to you soon. Thanks very much. Have a great day. Bye-bye.